Hello everyone, welcome to chemistry class, and here we are with the next part of this present video series for chapter number 2. Today we'll be talking about the uses or the role of chemistry in the clothing industries. The different type of fibers or fabrics are there, how they are produced and converted into the textiles or the cloth items that we are using. So let us begin the topic now. Cloth is made up of fibers. All the type of the clothes are made of fibers, and these fibers are thin and many times longer than their thickness. You can see different type of the fibers of the clothes with the help of a magnifying glass. Just put a magnifying glass and just try to observe it. Keep the magnifying glass over a cloth, and then you will be able to see the minute fibers by which that particular cloth is made. How these fibers are making the cloth? Let us read about this. Fibers are twisted together to yield long threads or yarn. Yes, all the fibers, different type of the fibers are there. They are all intertwined with each other. So that will make what? That will make a particular kind of a yarn. That is called thread also or yarn. So this process will be called as spinning. By the spinning process, what will happen? We can make the fiber strong in nature, and generally the yarn loses its sheen, and it is then bleached and dyed if it is required. Sheen means the shining nature of the cloth is not there after the spinning. So for that purpose only, so that the cloth will look better, it is bleached and then it is dyed with different colors. It depends what kind of the color we need on the cloth. Then the yarn is finally woven into a cloth using the machine called a loom. Please mark this in the book. What is the machine? That is called as a loom. Using a loom, we can convert the yarn into a cloth. We will weave a particular yarn into a cloth using a loom. Now this loom is also of two types. Let us read about it. A loom operated manually is called a hand loom, and the loom which runs on electricity, it is called a power loom. So this loom or this machine by which we can convert the yarn into cloth, it is of two types. One is hand loom, we have to operate it manually only, and another one is power loom. Here it will run on the consumption of electricity. So on the large scale, if it is to be done, all these things will be happening in a cloth mill. Cloth mill is having this type of the loom, maybe hand loom or it can be power loom. These days power loom is more common, and as a result, what will happen? Using the loom, we can convert the yarn into the particular cloth. Again, I will repeat here. First of all, fibers are twisted and converted into the yarn by the process of spinning. Then after the spinning, what will happen? The fiber will lose its sheen. So the second process after the spinning is called as bleaching and dyeing, just to give a particular color. And then followed by that, we are taking it to a loom. Yarn is taken to a loom, and where this yarn will convert into a cloth. In short, we have to write, first we will write fibers are converted into yarn, and then the yarn is converted into a cloth. How it is done? Fiber is converted into the yarn by the process of spinning, and then this particular yarn is converted into the cloth by the process by the machine called as the loom. The loom can be hand loom or it can be power loom, depending upon the kind of the factory or the cloth mill. So that is all about this. In between, one more process was there. After the spinning, when the yarn is obtained, what is done there? After the spinning has been completed, the yarn is taken and it is bleached, and also it is dyed. So by applying a particular dye and bleach, we can give a sheen as well as we can give a particular color to the type of the clothes we are producing in the cloth mill. So this yarn, how the bleaching is done, for what are the chemicals used there? So the yarn can be bleached by using hydrogen peroxide. This is one chemical. Another one, bleaching powder we can use. Also we can use sodium bisulfite. These three chemicals are there. First hydrogen peroxide, second one bleaching powder, and the third one is sodium bisulfite. So these three names you have to learn. The chemicals which are used for bleaching are as you can see on the screen. Numbers I have put there. All these three names: hydrogen peroxide, bleaching powder, and sodium bisulfite. All these three you have to learn. So then bleaching is over. After that, what we'll do? Dyeing. Dye. How we'll use the dye? So the dye is actually a synthetic material only, and a large number of dyes of different shades or different colors. These are manufactured on the industrial scale. All these are having very complicated molecules. So in your class level, at class 6, you will not read about them. Just for now, you can understand that dye is a synthetic material, and it will give a particular shade or color to the cloth when it is applied there. Let us read now. Continue reading. Instead of the yarn, the cloth can be bleached and dyed also. It is not compulsory the yarn we will take for bleaching always. We can first of all convert this yarn into the cloth, and afterwards we can do the dyeing and bleaching also. Clear? What we said in the beginning, you would have seen here, we have converted the fiber into yarn, and this yarn only is taken for bleaching. It is not compulsory that we will take the yarn into for bleaching. We can convert this yarn into a particular kind of the cloth. Fiber to yarn, yarn to cloth. After the cloth has been made, then we can go for bleaching. So bleaching can be done later on also. Dyeing also can be done later on also. So that is what they are telling here, that the clothes can also be bleached or dyed. It is not always necessary that we will take the yarn only for dyeing and bleaching. So let us see the different types of the fibers all around us. We have seen in the first part of this introduction of the chemistry and clothing how the fibers are converted into a particular cloth. Now we will see the different type of the fibers that we have. See, the fibers are broadly two kinds of two types here. One we will put here for natural fiber, and second will be for synthetic or artificial fibers. The name itself suggests their particular nature is given by their name itself. The natural one. So natural one will be obtained from the plants and animals. These natural fibers are again of two types: plant and animal fibers. The synthetic one, they are artificial fibers. We are not getting them from the nature. We have to manufacture them in the industries. Using the chemicals only we are making these things. So today we will now talk about the plant fibers. For now you can please mark this in your book. There are two types of fiber. First, natural fiber. Second, synthetic fiber. Then if we can also classify the natural fiber into two types. This natural fiber again it is of two types. One number is for plant fibers and second one is animal fiber. Let us now read or learn about the plant fibers. See, as the name says, plant fibers, they are obtained from the plants. Which type of the plants? So these plants are cotton, flax, jute. These type of plants will give us the different fibers. The most common one, that is the cotton. Cotton fibers are most commonly used, especially people in India and Egypt. These two countries are the most advanced countries, or we can say from the ancient time, from the earlier days only we have been making the cloth from cotton. So first time who made which countries people made this cotton clothes? That was people of India and Egypt. So cotton, where it grows? Cotton plant grows on the black soil. You will read more in geography also about this. Black soil is very much beneficial for the growth of cotton plants, and it needs a warm climate. So our country, India, also has suitable conditions. Black soil is available in certain parts of the country, and also the climate is warm there. So in our country, cotton is therefore, because the soil is available and the temperature also is suitable. So cotton is cultivated where? In Punjab, Rajasthan, Gujarat, Maharashtra, Madhya Pradesh, Telangana, Tamil Nadu and Karnataka. For your chemistry exam, this will not be required, but for your information, for your knowledge, you can read this. So these are the states where cotton is produced. This is actually relevant more in geography. They can ask all these states, not for chemistry. Okay, let us continue reading now how the cotton is grown or cultivated. So cotton is planted in the early spring season, and after about 2 months, what will happen? After we have planted them, we will observe white yellowish flowers that are coming up, and these white or yellowish flowers, they will slowly turn pink to red color. Means white flower or yellow flower, it will change its color into pink or red color. And after that, what will happen? After the color has become pink or reddish nature, then after about 3 days, the petals will start falling off, and what will remain behind? There will be a green seed like structure that will remain. Petals will fall down, that pink color part or the red color part of the flower, that will fall down. What will remain there will be a green seed like structure, which is called as a ball, BOLL, ball. And this ball will start growing now. And when this ball will start growing, what will happen? It will become mature at a later period, and when it becomes mature, after the ball will keep on growing, and there will be a time that will come, it will become mature, and at that time it bursts. When it is bursting, what will happen? The ball bursts, and it produces, or it shows us what it will produce: white fluffy cotton that is coming out from the ball, from inside the ball. When it is bursting, we will observe that white fluffy cotton fibers or threads are there. So actually it is not threads to say, it is fibers only. So cotton we can observe there, and that is having brown seeds also inside it. So cotton is then picked by the machines, and then the seeds are removed from that, because seeds are also present there. So cotton will be taken using a machine. That machine is called as a GIN. This machine was invented in India only, first time, and this GIN cotton is then pressed into bundles and converted into bales. One bale of cotton will have the weight of 200 kilograms, and then these bales are transported to the cloth mills. And then what will happen? The cloth mills will do what? They will take the cotton fibers and convert into yarn, and yarn is converted into cloth. That we have already seen at the beginning of the video. That spinning is done. After spinning, the fiber converts into yarn, and then yarn is converted into the cloth using the loom, power loom or hand loom we can use. So that only is written here. For weaving, a line of threads is laid lengthwise, and another thread is placed crosswise. So like this you can observe. This is the flower, this is the cotton that is coming outside, this is the green color ballers. You can see this is the BOLL, this is the ball. And when it bursts, what you will observe? You can see this photograph. This is the bursted part. So here you can see cotton fluffy masses are there. So that photo, let me show you. See here, this is how weaving is done. One fiber is placed lengthwise, top to bottom. Other one is placed horizontally, left to right. So like this, in two lengths, one horizontally, another one vertically. They are placing, and then this machine is operated. And what will happen? So as a result, what will happen? We are using a shuttle. That photograph just now we have seen, that is a shuttle only. So the lengthwise yarn is called as the var, the crosswise is called as the weft. This one, let me show again. This is the var. Here it is written a var. So lengthwise is called as the var. All these threads which are placed lengthwise, they are called as the var. And these fibers which are placed on the horizontal manner, they are called as weft. You can see in your book also this particular thing. Okay, the cotton fibers also, they are spun in the rural areas. They are using the charkhas there, and the thread that are spun, that are made into a special type of the cloth. What is the special type of the cloth that is produced using the charkha? That is called as khadi. All these important terms, please keep on marking. This can be asked in exam. So the making of the khadi will do what? It will provide employment in village. People get a job. They are getting the job to produce cotton fibers or the cloth using the charkha, or they can produce khadi. And especially the women in villages, they get work, and then they can run their families properly. So this photograph also, again you observe, this is the cotton picking machine. What it will do? It will take out the cotton fibers from the flowers or from the cotton balls, and then convert it into the bales. This is how you can see the woman is weaving cotton here using a charkha. And finally you can see the different cloth items, they are shown in this photograph. These are the things made of cotton. you may be also using different clothes made of cotton. And this is the power loom. Here you can see the spinning mill is having the loom, and here only the final cloth is produced here, that is obtained here. So all these photographs you can observe. So that is all about the cotton, and we have studied just now. Next one, in the next video, now we will not continue now. In the next video we will talk about the animal fibers. In that, two type of fibers we will read, silk and the wool. What are the sources of these fibers and how they are produced or converted into the final cloth items. That all we will be covering in the next video. Let us wind up for now. If you have any doubts related to this present video, post your queries in the comment section below. Also, you can post your questions to me or to the teacher in the live class using the chat option in the Teams app. That is all for now. Thank you everyone.